But the thing about bullies stealing your lunch money is that you have to do it every day or they punch you again. That's that Dane Guild thing. So take a look at this. Canada should end travesty of WHO bashing campaign. This is in Global Times. Editor's note, Canada recently joined a chorus initiated by the US questioning the WHO's role in the global response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Canadian House of Commons Health Committee on Thursday decided to issue a formal summons to Bruce Aylward, one of the WHO's Canadian senior advisors, to testify on the group's contested response to COVID-19. The move comes after U.S. Senator Todd Young sent a letter to WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus to express deep skepticism about the WHO's guidance and COVID-19 and concern of China's influence in the organization. What do the summons issued by Canadian MPs mean? Two experts shared their insights with the Global Times. Okay, so just to remind you what they're talking about here, Bruce Aylward is this man, the disgraced Canadian doctor who put his political loyalty to communist China above his loyalty to public health. Remember this weirdness?
Would the WHO consider Taiwan's membership? Hello?
I'm sorry, I can't hear. I couldn't hear your question.
Okay, yeah. Let me repeat the question.
No, that's okay. Let's move to another one then.
Right, because I'm actually curious on talking about Taiwan as well, on Taiwan's case.
We decided to give Dr. Aylward another call to follow up.
And I just want to see if you can comment a bit on how Taiwan has done so far in terms of containing the virus.
Well, we've already talked about China, and when you look across all the different areas of China, they've actually all done quite a good job. So with that, I'd like to thank you very much for inviting us to participate, and good luck as you go forward with the battle in Hong Kong.
Oh my God, what a little sellout. He'd rather disparage Taiwan or even deny its existence, not even say the word Taiwan, than talk about the most successful country that fought the virus and upset his communist masters. Taiwan is the role model. It's so pitiful that he hung up like that. So Canada's Parliament wants to hear from this guy, and he has repeatedly refused to attend an invitation, so they have summoned him. That's how parliaments in free countries work. But let me read a bit from Chinese Communist mouthpiece. It's just gorgeous. And I bet it really hurt Justin Trudeau's feelings. This is from, let me quote, Shen Yi, Director, Fudan University's Research Center for Cyberspace Governance. I don't know what that means, but like I say, this is an official Communist Party organ, this website, so this expresses Beijing's view. Canada is again becoming an accomplice in the U.S. buck-passing campaign and scapegoating either WHO or China for its flawed handling of the epidemic to cover up its systematic loopholes. By exerting pressure on high-level medical expert Bruce Aylward, some Canadian politicians fawned on the U.S. by expressing their dissatisfaction with the WHO and expressed doubts about China's dealing of the epidemic in the earlier stages. Yeah, I think it was in a unanimous vote by that parliamentary committee to summon that little weasel, Aylward. So Trudeau's Liberals, the China simps, they actually all agreed. The Socialist NDP agreed. The even more Socialist Bloc and the Conservatives, hardly a pro-Trump outfit, to be frank. Pretty sure it wasn't pro-US fawning. It was the disgust of every party at the misconduct of Bruce Aylward. But let's continue reading. Like the US, Canada acts like a country with a self-centered giant baby mentality who refuses to accept the fact which it is unwilling to believe. The coronavirus had struck a blow to their once vaunted superior capabilities in responding to public health crises. The death rate from the coronavirus in Canada, higher than that of China, crushed their illusions and sense of superiority. Now here I'm of two minds, folks. It's true, Trudeau is a giant baby. He hasn't gone into work in nearly 2 months. And while Canadian hospitals have managed just fine to handle the virus, thank God no hospital has been overrun, there's a very high recovery rate, etc. It's true that Trudeau's federal response has been a laugh. Especially Theresa Tam, Trudeau's bungling public health officer, who has got literally everything wrong, from her advice not to wear masks, her advice not to close the borders, calling everyone who's worried about the pandemic a racist. She was wrong on everything, but frankly, she was just parroting the Chinese Communist Party's own talking point since she works for the WHO directly. So I think there's some truth in this criticism. My main observation is, it's funny that Trudeau gives China literally everything. He rushes to give the bully their lunch money. He sent them 16 tons of face masks, and still they mock him as a giant baby. That's even worse than nickname than Little Potato, the giant baby. That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.